Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just gonna run through what I managed to do in September for my personal art challenge. I did use my Neocolors. I can't find them right now. I will find them out shortly. Scratch that. They're in here. Now the reason that I picked my Neocolor 2, so these are the water-soluble wax crayons, is because I had played around with this and I was like, oh, I quite like the texture. This was back in August and I quite like the texture that I was able to create. That just naturally comes from the crayon aspect. So I broke up all my crayons because as you may know if you'd watched the plan for September, I was in the UK and then in Portugal. Snapped even further my Neocolors down so I could fit them all into this small tray, and that was great for two reasons. I had a selection of colors, but not so great is that actually when they get quite small, like this orange, you know that I have a penchant for orange. It's really hard to do anything, especially detailed, when you're holding something so small. So I'm now firmly in the camp of anti-snapping of Neocolors. But it's not, the great thing is that when you have that many colors, it makes for a lighter kit. So it's not as weighty as if I took like my actual tin that are mostly still in one piece. This is a lot weightier. But anyway, I digress. So this is what started it all. Now, we did a live stream in September and I'm gonna grab this one quickly. I haven't finished this yet. This was the drawing of Porto on the live stream I did that was just using, I believe it was just using Neocolors. And I say this based upon the marks on the paper. This is obviously pencil I've gone back in over. This looks like ink. I'm not sure about this. Maybe I had smushed and then put the Neocolor here. But it's pretty much all Neocolor. It's not finished yet. And if you want to catch that live stream replay to draw along for about an hour, there are 3 different images. I'll link it here in the corner. But I really enjoyed using that sketchbook. And then another one, I'm just going to jump to get the bigger ones off the table. This was a live stream with Katie Moody in the 18th of September, so this is when I was back from my traveling. And originally I did do a acrylic ink base, so I put down a load of acrylic inks. I didn't really follow the rules as well. I didn't listen to the instructions, so I didn't do a great job. But once the acrylic inks were down, I got out the Neocolors and I did a lot of work with the Neocolors. So you can see a lot of the texture build up. There's Neocolor here and on top of the water. Down here, this is Neocolor. So it's fun to experiment with that. Then, because I can, because it's here, at the end of September, Sarah Dyer, let me bring you down. Sarah Dyer did a live session, portrait session, with the model Naomi. And I was determined I was only going to use Neocolor 2s. This is how shocking they are. Not great for portraits in my experience, but I'm not very good at portraits using them. Maybe if I practiced I'd be better. One thing I do like about using Neocolors is the textured kind of like transition you could get for if you wanted to do landscape. I haven't done anything with this because it's just so beautiful. I've got I think I put 2 blues down. I put the light cobalt blue and then a slightly more turquoisey blue, and then I put the grey that I have, and then this was I think olive green and then a yellow, and I scribbled the crayons down first, and then I got my thick brush that I'm always talking about when like this, the water brush, and I just smushed it around, and I got so much water on the page that I could then go in with my fingers and I was just scrubbing it to create texture, and I really love it. And originally it was going to be Porto. 1 second, sorry, I wanted to show you something. So on the weekend, the last weekend in September, I went to an in-person workshop as part of the 10 years Groningen urban sketching celebrations, and there was an instructor that ran a workshop called Julia Hanser. She's on Instagram, I'll link her below as well. She also has a YouTube channel, but she had us do a certain method for urban sketching. So I did this there, and it was based upon having you block in your color, watercolor, to create, and then you go back in and you do everything else out. I'm not going to tell you her method because that's like what she teaches, but I then decided, okay, I'm going to do it with Neocolor. But based upon this, I did this one at the same time and I did this one, so you can see it's Porto inspired. Okay, we've got the sky, we've got the distant hills, we've got the kind of green murky water, and then we've got the orangey beautiful buildings of the port houses and stuff. This is what I did using her method. I did the Neocolor on the bottom, and then I went in with ink. I started to use my Fude. Is it my Fude? No, beg your pardon, it wasn't. It was my, I can't even find them. It was my Microns. And what I found though is that because of the waxiness of the Neocolor, it didn't work, so I had to get my Fude out, which has actually clogged it a bit. It's not working so well now, so I'm gonna have to clean it. So I would have, if I was gonna try this kind of method of Julia's and then going over with ink on top of Neocolor 2 instead of Watercolour, I would have to find a suitable brush pen that worked over the Neocolor 2s. But I quite like this. It's very vibrant, it's very thin. I've managed to keep background quite vague, focus on the foreground, and that was primarily using Neocolor. Actually it was, because even the details are Neocolor. So it's Neocolor 2 the whole way, apart from what you see is ink. So I really enjoyed that. And that's kind of why I haven't done anything to this page, because I just love the texture. You can see where I've like smushed my hands in it. I've got loads of water on there to just create this texture. I should probably do something with it so that I can really test it on this piece, because this is hot pressed and this was Canson XL, so it's got a bit of tooth to it. So it'd be good to do a comparison. So that was that. And then of course I used this sketchbook. This is my Art Creations cork white paper one throughout the month. I'm going to find the pages and talk to you about them. So these are in no particular order. They're just because I do jump around. Oh, I've got itchy palm. What does that mean? I do jump around my sketchbook. So this, I've made a note of NC2. So I must have put the NC2s down as background. I started to build up the layers. I do wonder if at some point it was an acrylic background first, an acrylic ink, but that I've then gone in because I can see the marks of Neocolor, sorry. So part of me thinks that it's just a multi-layer that I'm slowly building up, but I have written NC2. But again, it's all that texture. Can you see all this texture? Oh, love all the texture. And this one you may have seen because I think this was on the way to the UK, so I think it was in my Porto video, which again I'll link up here. This is definitely Neocolor. Sure, that's Neocolor 2 as well. And okay, this is Neocolor 2 on top of an acrylic background. You can see the original acrylic ink marks that I'd made on the page. This is on Neocolor 2. This was a prompt from, I think it was Emma Block illustration Patreon, but I never finished it because I was trying to do it while I was traveling. Just not going to happen. I don't like the thickness here. This you saw in my Porto video. This was just done while I was at the airport waiting. This one you did see in the Porto video. Both of these were Neocolor 2 crayons, and then this one I did pencil over the top. Aha. So this was done at our local, and this is only a Neocolor 2. And I like the transition. So again, it was this pack of Neocolors, just a paintbrush, getting my fingers in. I think I had a couple of paintbrushes because there's quite a bit of fine detail here. And then I think I did go over with pencil. So the base is Neocolor 2, and then here like the candle details, getting some texture on the beer that David was drinking, the bock beer. That's all pencil, and I think this is pencil as well. I quite like that. I'm not very good at still lifes, but I don't mind that. This one I was trying to work from a photo and I gave up because I wasn't inspired. This is from an Emma Carlisle patron, and I started it in Neocolor, the bird. You can see I haven't put his beak in yet. And then I started to put in the green on the branches, and I drew the leaves in the green. And then I decided to add this red, but I did it in pencil, and then I needed a background, so I went over it with pencil, color pencil. So I think this is the Warm Earth Derwent drawing pencil, or the Warm Grey, sorry. So it did start off as a Neocolor 2. It just evolved. And then this is a sort of self-portrait based upon a photo that was taken of me in Porto using Neocolor 2s. The only problem I have is quite often, because of my big project that's still not finished, I end up finding time at the end of the day when it's quite dark to do something. So actually I wasn't aware that I'd picked these particular colors out and that it was so orange for my skin. I mean, it's fun, it is what it is. This was NC2 for an Emma Carlisle video. No, it wasn't. Maybe Emma Block or maybe Becca Hall. It was Emma Block Patreon session. And again here, I'm not very good. Yeah, Emma Block. I'm not very good at animals. This again is Neocolor here on pencil. And then I think I got my actual watercolors out. Gouache, I'm not sure. This is Porto live stream, but I did brush pens and then I went in with Neocolor on top and pencil. And then I think that's it. Oh, this was a combination. So this was from the Urban Sketch meetup for Groningen. So there is elements of Neocolor. I can tell this is Neocolor. This is Neocolor. This is Neocolor. This feels like it was pencil. And I've written Neocolor combi. Okay, so it was a combination of things. Okay, and then finally we have Sarah Dyer had the same one that I showed you in here. The terrible, 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 terrible. Ghastly. These were the quick studies that I did again with Neocolor. And that's when I know it reinforced that they're really hard to work with when they're very small. Then I moved on to brush pen and Neocolor, and then I'm not even sure if that's... No, that's not Neocolor, that's pencil. This was a longer version. I think this was the last one we did for 30 minutes. Not particularly good. The only thing I do like is the texture, but the texture doesn't suit the subject, unfortunately. Then this was, I actually did this on 1st of October. I thought it was still the 30th of September. It wasn't. I was uptown. I'd been trying to work at the forum. This is the bank opposite the square on Grote Markt. And so I just chose 3 colours based upon the flag, like their branding, and created this. I think that's it. Yeah. So not an awful lot of work done using Neocolors for the month. I mean, I did do more work than other months. I think that's because primarily I was traveling, so I was able to actually take some time out from the big project. And yeah, I think this is quite successful. I really love I've already said it, but I'll say it again, the texture effect of this page, the spread. I think this is quite good for me. It's very colourful, it's very orange. You know what I'm like for orange. I don't know that there was anything else that struck me as perfect. Oh, the still life. I really enjoyed the still life as well. So there you go. Quite simple bits of work. Those are probably my 3 favourite experiences using 3 different types of paper. So this is obviously the really smooth standard Talons paper. This is the Pith Sketchbook hot press, and this is Hansen Exab cold press, but it's not real cold press. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna stop waffling now because I now need to record the October plans. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye.